Hello YouTube and people of the interwebs, welcome back to another Doctor Who news video. I'll admit it's been quite some time since this channel has been properly active, mainly because A, there's absolutely no Doctor Who news apart from what I've got to discuss today. B, I've been spending hours and hours and hours of my life finalising our Doctor Who fan film Echo's Destiny Part 2. We finally finished shooting. This is the final ever scene for this pair.
It's a bit sweet. I'm kind of scared because it's a sad one.
And 3, I've been working on more long-form content, which you'll be seeing very soon on the channel. But today we're going to be running through all the big headlines. There's some major news, and then a bunch of small, fun tidbits about the upcoming season, and news on the partnership with Disney+, Bad Wolf, and the BBC.
The streamers were beginning to say that phrase, the model doesn't work.
Because, you know, as I've mentioned in my last video, there's a lot of talk about Doctor Who being cancelled. So we're going to get to the bottom of that. Let's first start off by running through the headlines. So, Gallifrey 1, big American Doctor Who convention that's been going on for over 40 years now. But, despite this being a hugely popular event, for somewhat unknown reasons, in 2028 they will be holding their last convention. Now, this news hasn't gone down particularly well. I think they've said they want to go out on their own terms, which I don't really know what that means. Does that mean that they're getting shut down? Whatever it means, it'll be sad to see it go. I mean, I can't say I've ever been. America's a long way away, but I know it means a lot to a lot of people. Not strictly Doctor Who related, but David Tennant hosted the BAFTAs last night and delivered an absolutely bizarre performance of 500 Miles, where you can see celebrities like Ariana Grande, for example, looking absolutely baffled at what they're witnessing. The Savages returns as an animation in March, on the 24th of March, available on DVD, Blu-ray, another Doctor Who missing episode animation thing. There's also a huge auction of Doctor Who props currently happening, and people are pointing at this and saying this is more evidence that the show's been cancelled because they're selling off a load, there's a load of stuff you can go and look at. And I mean, I get where they're coming from, but also this is for charity. This is like a children in need thing. So if that's your thing and you've got a load of money to spare, go and spend it there. In terms of Season 2 news, we are probably going to be expecting a trailer relatively soon, because Doctor Who magazine's next issue is supposed to have quite a lot of stuff about Season 2 in. So a teaser or a trailer or something before then would make sense, especially because Season 2 is supposed to, it's not been officially confirmed, but supposed to air around the end of March or early April. We also have news that the new most expensive episode of all time will be written by Juno Dawson. Speaking to Attitude 101, author and writer of audio and screen Juno Dawson says that her Season 2 episode is the most ridiculously expensive episode they've ever done. Now, we don't know too much about this in terms of plot, but what we do know is this is supposed to be like the Eurovision Song Contest, but on an intergalactic scale. Those were the rumours, which have been all but confirmed by the fact that producer Joel Collinson was wearing this suspicious-looking t-shirt at Gallifrey 1. The Interstellar Song Contest. Now, if this is supposed to be, I think, episode 6, we could probably figure out when Doctor Who will air by lining up when Eurovision is, because I'd imagine they'll release the Doctor Who Eurovision episode when Eurovision takes place. Now, I'm not going to lie, I have no idea whether I'm sold on this concept or not. It'll entirely rely on execution, because I'm not the biggest fan of Eurovision as it stands. But you know what? It's probably going to be quite fun. Producer Joel was also seen wearing this t-shirt. He's clearly trying to, give little teasers about the upcoming season, because this is, I think this character, whoever they are we've seen in a trailer prior, they're going to be a god, or a harbinger of a god. That they're definitely a god. We've seen them climbing out of the cinema screen, and yeah, it's just interesting that he's on a t-shirt. Let me know your theories for what god this could be in the comments section down below. We've also had updates on the show's future. I'm going to play you a clip from the podcast Radio Free Skaro. Definitely go and check out their full episode. I'm not going to put too much in this video because go and watch their stuff. I found this on Spotify, link in description. But yeah, this is Julie Gardner talking about, I'll just play the clip.
How is it working in that environment making shows, finding co-productions, that sort of thing?
I think it feels really scary. The streamers were beginning to say that phrase, the model doesn't work. And I think if you'd worked in TV for a long time, you kind of knew that. You could see the prices were going up and episodic orders were coming down, and you could see it was unsustainable, which is now where we find ourselves. So you can see there's less being commissioned, things that are being picked up, there's less money. So there's a lot of uncertainty and fear. So there will always be a way, but it's a very, very tough time.
You probably want to play some optimistic music under that. It's just a thought.
Now, I think here, this is an interesting sign that the Disney Doctor Who deal may have already kind of fallen through. Obviously, they're not going to want to advertise that before season 2 comes out. But with Russell T Davies going off to do another show, it does make you wonder. I think there's going to be a hiatus or a little time in between, but Russell is determined that Doctor Who's not going to be cancelled. I don't think we've got to worry about that. Russell even said in an Instagram comment like, "Oh, excited to get back to you soon at Bad Wolf Studios." So there will be more Doctor Who, but I think the Disney partnership is probably 90% dead. That's unless season 2 does insanely well. And obviously, I think it is true, like the streaming era is also the cause of this. It's not just the quality of the writing. But I don't know, let me know your opinions on all of this in the comments down below. But that brings us to the most interesting and most exciting by a mile piece of news that we've recently had. The trip of a lifetime continues. Christopher Eccleston and Billie Piper are reuniting for a new series of audio adventures with Big Finish. And there's an article which we're going to give a quick read and breakdown of in a second, but this is big news. It is mad that in, I think, just under or just over a month, it's going to be 20 years since the revival, since New Who. I mean, it's not New Who anymore. It's like not old Who. It's like new. No, this is New Who. What we're in now is New Who. Either way, as a non-Big Finish listener, this is definitely something that's going to entice me in. Now, I have listened to a couple like Spare Parts, and the ones that people always go, "Oh, you need to hear this." I have heard, and they are good, but Big Finish is expensive, and I'm a busy person. 20 years later, the trip continues as they're set to star in a brand new series of 12-hour-long, full-cast audio adventures. It's kind of mad that we're actually getting more content from them now than their original series. When you add it all up, it'll probably... I mean, it's roughly the same, but if they do a season 2 of this, who knows? Now, sadly, these won't be ready for release in March, but they are coming out August 2025. Christopher Eccleston said, "I'm so happy to be back recording more adventures for the Ninth Doctor with Billy. I don't think my Doctor exists without Rose. He's a one-man, one-companion kind of alien. We've explored him on his own at Big Finish, as a loner, but there's a resilience and a bravery and a deep empathy to Billy as Rose. That's why I do this. They complete each other." Which, I can't lie, I agree with. I was always, I was hyped for the Ninth Doctor audios before, but 9 without Rose, just, I don't know, you lose that character development that he went on, and yeah, this makes a lot more sense to me. Billie Piper added, "I can't think of a better time for Rose to reunite with her first Doctor than now, 20 years after she first ran into the TARDIS and towards the adventure. Here we are again, me and Chris, ready to have fun facing the universe and the monsters together." Now, a lot of you may be asking, where and when are these episodes set? The Ninth Doctor and Rose's tenure on the show is pretty watertight, especially if considering the fact that they're adding Jackie Tyler into the mix. It can't be between episodes 1 and 4, because Jackie doesn't know about the Doctor till the end of episode 4. Then it can't be 5 to 6, because you've got Adam. So I'm doing this off the top of my head. But I suppose 7, I bet that, when you get to episode, is it 9? The Empty Child with Captain Jack? It can only fit in the middle of that, unless it will actually no, never mind. They're not getting John Barrowman back. So it's got to fit in that time period, really. I think in between episodes 7 and 8, maybe. Across 12 episodes, slotting neatly into that 2005 series, we have more Jackie Tyler, more Powell Estate, plus friends and enemies old and new through time and space. Our writers have done an amazing job recapturing the spirit of that very special season. Now that's the main thing I'm excited for. If they have managed to capture the magic of season 1, or series 1, then you know what? I will listen. I'm here for it. Anyway, that does bring us to the end of today's video. As ever, if you did enjoy, please do remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Exclusive videos on the Patreon. There's a load of stuff. It really helps me out if you go and look at that. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.